The Messy Room Podcast.
Between Monday and Friday, every morning in my long commute between Macomb, Mississippi and Bogalusa, Louisiana, typical time runs between 5 a.m. to about 6:30. I think during that time. That's about all you can do is think. You're sitting there driving and you're thinking. And a lot of times I think of my best ideas, my best topics, what I want to talk about, how I want to talk about it, what's the point, how can I get it across to people. And with it being so close to Valentine's Day, I figured we would jump into something here. You know, Valentine's Day it's a good holiday. It gets a lot of flack because, it just depends on what state you're in your part of life. If you're like me and you're happily married, life seems pretty good. Yeah, Valentine's Day is a pretty good holiday. If you've been struggling in that field, or you may have just come out of a divorce, Valentine's Day can be pretty rough on you. And for a long time, I didn't have a Valentine. I didn't have nobody to get stuff for. Nobody was getting nothing for me. I just was never that guy. And I want to talk about that today. Valentine's Day is a time of year where there is a lot of rejection. A lot of it. And a lot more of it than what you guys may think there is going on. And rejection is a soul-crushing feeling. It is horrible. I hear people say every once in a while that, they want their kids, they want their daughter to find a good man, somebody they can live with and settle down, and, they want their son to be that guy. I am not, and I never have been Prince Charming. I just don't fit that profile. And when I say that, I don't want you guys thinking that I'm downplaying myself. It's that I don't feel like I fit the profile of Prince Charming. It's always the person who looks the best and just happens to be the hero of the story or whatever's going on. I'm just a guy who got extremely, extremely lucky at life. To be completely honest with you guys. Now, I still have to get up. I still have to go to work. I still got bills I got to pay every day. I know I could be way luckier than that, but considering how I never really applied myself in school, I did really well, ended up with the career that I have now. Considering how much of a jerk I was to people, considering how mean, how impatient, how just... I look back at some of the pictures and posts. You ever do that on Facebook? You ever go back and look and you're like, what was going on? I was in a rough spot for a while. Of course, whenever I was in the middle of high school, it felt like my world was crumbling around me with a whole bunch of other things. So all that was tossed into it, but that's another story for another time. The first thing that I had to develop, there's two main things here that you guys need to be looking for in another person. The first thing was a care. And I know some of you might say, well, we want them to be hardworking and this. Well, where do you think that comes from? It comes from having a care, a drive, a determination. You should have someone that cares enough about his own mom and dad. You should be looking for someone that has enough care about you, that they see a future with you. You got to have someone that has foresight, can see into the future. I remember, just a little over 3 years ago, about 30 yards from where I'm sitting right now, me and Allison stood right out there, right when me and her were just started dating. I was looking at this property. It wasn't even mine yet, but we were allowed to come on here and I was showing her around. It was nothing but trees and grass. And I laid out all my plans right there. I said, I'm going to clear off this. This is where the house is going to be. I'm going to have a long driveway off the road. They were dreams that were eventually turned into reality. But she was included in those dreams from the get-go. I had enough of a care about her to let her know what was going on, what was up. And that girl loved talking about that stuff with me. She still does. We still talk about dreams and things we want to do one day. But it was so awesome talking about building our own house. And for my birthday, right after I bought that land, me and my dad, we went and we bought some 4x4s and some 1x6s or so. I think that's what it is. And we built our front gated driveway. I went up to Tractor Supply, got a good 16-foot gate put up there. And she actually went and found a guy that did metal signs for my birthday. Still boyfriend and girlfriend. And she got a big, nice metal sign put on that gate. She had to care about her as well. Like, she saw a future with me as well. Like, this is... And it sounds cheesy when you say this, but honestly, it's an investment towards the future. I'm investing with this person. This is who my team player is going to be one day. So you have to find someone that has enough of a care that they want to go to work. It's not so much a thing of they go to work. You want somebody that wants to go to work. Quit settling for this, well, they work. No, they want to go to work. How many times you ever seen kids about 16, 17... You can shoot up even higher than that, going into their 20s. And they're working at a cash register somewhere, which I don't have nothing against these jobs. Somebody's got to do it. It's not one of those type of things. But no matter what they're doing, pushing paper with a broom or whatever, they just have this overall messed up disposition about life. They don't care. They're there because somebody made them get the job, or they still have parents and that was a stipulation, or there's no care. And they're like, well, I can't believe that I have to do this. It's a lousy pay and it's a lousy job. Well, I was in your spot. I've done those jobs. I've swept floors. I have went and got coffee for people. I have, I've done the grunt work. And I crushed it. And people pay attention to that. You can make good money working at that mundane job, or what you consider to be that mundane job. I'm not trying to get all into this right now, but honestly, if you have enough of a care and you apply yourself, and you're going with somebody that's going to have enough of a care to say, you know what, I don't want us here one day. I want to take us even further. I want to get promoted. I want to move up, and I want to do bigger, greater things with you. They've got to have that care. If they do not have a care enough to want to work, to take care of you, you need to walk away. I don't care what they look like. I don't care how many followers they have on Instagram. Quit looking at that stuff. Honestly, quit looking at that stuff. To be honest with you, some of the best people have almost no followers whatsoever on social media. They just don't pay that much attention to it. Like me, I post what I want to post, and that's the end of it. Like I'm not out here trying to get 2,000 likes on a post. Yeah, cool. If that ever happens, great. One of these goes viral or something awesome, but I don't care. I'm talking to y'all, telling y'all something that hopefully you take and you apply in your life. And I'm just telling you this stuff from a personal standpoint. The next thing, and this is the big one here, they have got to have an appreciation for you. Do not confuse that with the first one I listed off, a care. I know some of y'all might put two and two together and be like, well, isn't part of care and appreciation? No, not necessarily. Because it takes something to get a real true appreciation. You know how you get a real good appreciation, or somebody that's really appreciative? Someone who has dealt in rejection. And I'm not just talking about they had the heart broke once or so, whatever. I mean, there are just some good people out there that's just naturally good at liking and appreciating. But most people, they have to go through this stuff to really learn how to take care of and appreciate things. I was one of those people that had to go through that. I never one time said to myself one day, as far as a revenge thing, like, oh, I'm going to work hard and do great, and I'll eventually be up here, and I can look down one day and say, hi, don't y'all feel stupid because I did do something with my life. It wasn't about that. I matured enough to get past that point in that level, and I love my wife. But had I not experienced all that stuff, I couldn't love her and appreciate her like I do now. If everything had just happened for me and fell into my lap, had she had met me in high school, a little after high school, with the messed up disposition that I had, it probably wouldn't have worked. That's why I trust in God's timing. He knows when to bring somebody in. I went to bed at night. I cried myself to sleep for nights. I was upset. And after a while of rejection, not from just one person or two people, I mean from a lot. At the age of 22, you know who you are if you watch this, by the way. I'm not here to call people out or do any of that stuff, whatever, but you know who you are if you ever watch this video and you hear me say this. At the age of 22, I was basically looked at and said, Justin, you're not worth anything, and you probably aren't going to be. And that tore my soul just apart. You're not worth anything. You probably aren't going to be. I still remember those exact words. They will stick with me for the rest of my life. Well, I think that I proved you wrong. And it wasn't about proving you wrong, but I'm appreciative for those kind of things in life because it pushed me even harder. And now that I have found the one, my wife, I will fight to the death for this woman. And that is the end of it. There is nobody else but my wife. Case closed. There isn't. I love this woman too much. I appreciate her. I adore her. And I know you guys might get sick and tired of me hearing always hear me talk about her and what I love about her and whatnot. Hey, go watch somebody else. But if you're going to listen to me, I will always tell you that I'm grateful and appreciative of this woman. This girl had to fight through so many barriers and boundaries that I had put up myself because I was done with it. I was done with the dating game. I didn't want nothing to do with it no more. My mindset was just go make a bunch of money, drive a nice vehicle, and get you a little rinky-dink place somewhere, whatnot, and just enjoy life. That was what my philosophy was. And had it not been for her stepping in when she did, I was probably headed down a dark road. Until one day something clicked in me and said, this person has done what I was trying to do with other people. And it took that. It took me to feel like I had somebody trying so hard for me like I had been trying so hard for others. And ever since we got together, it has been an amazing, beautiful relationship. But I could not have really, truly appreciated her was it not for all the times that something was right there and I wanted it, but it didn't happen. And I don't hold a grudge towards any of that. Even that one example I told you guys, I don't hold a grudge against that. I don't. I don't care anymore. I really don't. Because now I'm here and I see what that led to. I'm appreciative of it. I'm glad that all those times that stuff happened. Because it was for something great. No uphill battle is easy. But that uphill battle, that constantly having to fight your way to the top, makes getting to the top so much greater. It's more of a success when you get there. Failure, rejection, they're great teachers. And appreciation is a gift you get from constant rejection. And it's one of the most beautiful, greatest gifts you'll ever get in your life. And you can take that and apply that to a lot of things, not just relationships. Your career. You apply for this promotion, it doesn't happen. You apply for the next promotion, it doesn't happen. And after a while, you sit there and you're like, what's going on here? And, they tell you like, you're not ready yet. We're watching you. We know what you do. We love you, but you're not ready yet. So you apply for the next one. You might get passed up on that one as well. And then eventually something just falls out of the sky, it seems like. And everything lines up right. And most of the time you're sitting there like, wow, I'm glad I didn't get that other job because this one here is actually way better. Ain't it amazing how stuff like that just happens sometime? I think we got somebody looking out for us, if you know what I'm talking about. And when you finally get that promotion, oh, you are top of the world because you fought. You didn't give up. You fought. Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 10, round 15. You kept going and swinging and punching. You never stopped. That's who I'm talking to here today. I'm talking to the people who want something in life, who have a craving, a yearning to do better in life. You will fight. You will go all out as far as you have to get somewhere in life. As far as job, as far as your relationship, as far as your spiritual connection with God, whatever it may be, you will push through. You don't stop. You don't quit. She didn't do that to me. And because of that love and because of my appreciation now, there is nothing I won't do for her. Her happiness is everything to me because she gave me my happiness back. I know that you probably can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because you may be in a very dark tunnel right now, feeling like your legs are about to give out. And it seems like the further you walk, the longer the tunnel gets, the darker it gets, the colder it gets. A light at the end of the tunnel, you can't even see your hands in front of your face because it's done got so dark. Do not give up. I don't care if you are alone again this Valentine's Day. Keep pushing yourself. Keep remembering who you are, where you come from, what you offer the world and to someone else, what makes you you. And I'll be praying for you. I'll be praying for you to push through that fight day in and day out. You got this. But you need to remember those two things. Look for someone that has enough of a care about you. And that's hard to detect. You've got to be very thorough in finding somebody that's really going to care enough about you. They've got to be your husband from the day that you first meet them. Your interest is number one priority in their life. And I guess in saying that, I can close out with this. You know why being a man of the household, of the family, is becoming more of a rarity? You know why more households don't have a man of the house? Because we live in a selfish society. To be the man of the house, of the family, you come dead last on everything. It's just how it is. And I was taught that by men who put themselves last. My grandfathers and my daddy taught me that. And that lesson is not as instilled as it used to be. You want to be the man of the house, you want a good family, you put yourself last. You want to make something of yourself in life and you want to find a truly good girl out there that's going to love you and hold on to you, take good care of you. You got to put yourself last. So, most podcasts, this ain't nothing. I mean, I've seen podcast people that talk for over 2, 3, longer than that hours. And you guys need to understand that this is a solo podcast, so there's only so long I can talk about the same thing without rambling. But we did good stretching it out here to almost 20 minutes today. I want you guys to know that I love you guys very much and thank you guys for tuning in here with me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I know we got some nasty weather this weekend. Be safe out there on the road. Don't be watching this while trying to drive, especially if there's ice in your area. Stay focused down the road. Make sure that your loved one gets to see you on Valentine's Day. Be careful out there. Be nice to one another. Be kind, be courteous. There's a lot of people going through a lot of different things right now. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to share, talk, tell all your friends about it. I love you guys, and I welcome more into it. I will see you guys in the next episode. This has been your good friend, Justin, with the Messy Room Podcast. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
I ain't the only one they owe.